What is IHL? It stands for International Humanitarian Law. You might have heard of IHL in some way or another, maybe through the Geneva Convention or when it's making headlines for its violations. It's meant to lessen civilian deaths, lessen refugees and internally displaced persons, lessen destruction of societal infrastructure like hospitals and schools, and offer greater opportunity to rebuild after conflict. IHL consists of two parts: international treaty law, which consists of formal agreements that are written out, such as the Geneva Convention, and customary international law, customs that are in place by so many nations that it becomes an obligation for all nations to follow them. IHL has four fundamental principles: military necessity, that is, combat that must be necessary for a military goal; distinction, being able to tell who you're fighting and who is not involved; proportionality, which means no excessive force and limiting casualties; and finally, limiting unnecessary suffering. If suffering is avoidable, avoid it. Well, how are these principles and laws enforced? Well, some countries incorporate IHL politics directly into their domestic laws, like the US, who handles most infractions internally through their military courts. However, 123 other countries have instead opted for the Rome Statute, where criminals can be tried via the International Criminal Court. What does the American Red Cross's IHL Youth Action Campaign do? Well, according to the Red Cross, the IHL Youth Action Campaign is a sponsored program that encourages youth and young adults to learn about the rules of armed conflict and empowers them to explore IHL through peer-to-peer campaigns. What that means is that we're youths looking to teach other youths about IHL and how it affects people around the world. This year, we're educating others about education in war. IHL takes three main measures to safeguard education during war: protecting, which requires parties to an armed conflict to identify schools, school buses, and other education-related materials such as civilian objects; ensuring access to education is available to the child no matter who's governing the area; and finally, prohibiting conscription of school-aged children into the armed forces. This can provide a level of protection for students, teachers, and parents. However, this is not always the case. Lionel was just 11 years old when he became a child soldier. He lives in the Central African Republic, and soldiers threatened to hurt his family if he did not volunteer to be a soldier. Thousands of children just like Lionel are forced to join fighting forces every year, effectively depriving them of formal education and forcing them to instead be a part of unspeakable atrocities. Many child soldiers are wounded or killed before they even become adults. What can you do? Make sure you're informed about these issues and keep yourself updated on them. A great resource to keep yourself educated on their topic is our Instagram and TikTok at Peake of IHL. Find out and see if your school has a Red Cross Club and join to find out how you can make more of an impact. Feel free to check out the link on the screen to find volunteer opportunities and more ways to get involved. Thanks for watching. Be sure to fill out the Google Forms listed on the screen.